Hello, everybody. I'm Miriam the Moon Lady, and I'm recording a session with Glenny Sijlbing. She made these wonderful cards, the Black Queens, and I work with them now since January, I think, for real. Every month I get one card that gives me more information about the month ahead. And that is because I also work with tarot cards. They are divination cards, and I read them for other people. And these are just for me and about what visions or what imagery is going about in the month. That is how it works for me. Glenny will talk more about why she made the cards and how you can work with them. And then in the end, I will do like a card reading with these. So Glenny, first start with who are you and how are you? And
Yes.
I'm glad you're here, by the way.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Miriam. Well, I'm Glenny Sijlbing, and I'm a consultant on diversity and inclusion. I live in the Netherlands, just above Amsterdam, and I'm 72 years old, and I have two daughters and one grandson. And well, in my work, I work with black people, black women, and also with white women people. And I very much want to get into the corporate world to give
Yes,
my services.
that's where
And
big change is needed.
yes, 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 that's why. And I'm doing this my work through yes, consultancy, advice, but also coaching and training.
Yeah. Okay. And can you say, because you said you work with black women and with white women, I can imagine there's a difference. How do you perceive this difference?
Well, for black women, it is about awakening or getting stronger into the black awareness, and
Yeah.
you can do this on many levels, and many tools are. But that's the main thing, and they also want to learn how to stand firm when they are um, meeting racism in their
Yeah.
daily life. Now, what do I say and how do I react and so on.
Like
And so,
empowerment.
yes, it's like empowerment. Yes,
Yeah.
you can call it that. And then specifically on this black being a black woman in
Hmm.
a white society,
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
that's
Yes. We're
important
speaking
to
from the
say.
Netherlands. I'm
Yeah, we're
Holland based
speaking
as
from the
well. So,
Netherlands. Yes, and for white women, it's more for also the question: what can I say and do and support black women in their anti-racism um, battle, or how do you want to call
yeah.
it? And um, it often starts with the question, I'm so afraid to say something because I'm afraid I'm going to offend someone, and I don't know which words I will choose, and no, and so on. And well, for me, the biggest issue is that you start in being open,
Yeah.
because if you're not willing to look at your own white privilege,
Yeah.
you will never understand the black woman. And then
Yeah.
you can say everything. You can say yes, but I'm not a racist, and I have
Yeah.
black friends, and all the things the people say. But I always say, well, look first inside yourself, because
Yeah. Yeah.
and that, it's a hard message, because only the just because you were born white and were raised up in a white society,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I
are
think the problem is that white women in Europe and in America are raised in a like monocultural,
Yes.
and so it's very hard for us to open up for to the idea. And also this specific culture is about this, oh, this the one and only God, the one and only, there's
Yeah.
always one and only anything.
Yes.
And so it's quite hard to open up to the really open up to the I mean, you can say, okay, there are other options and there are other ways of living, but that's more like theory. But to really open up
Yes.
to this reality of people having different backgrounds, like really, and different points of view and different experiences, while living in the same place as you do. And it's
Yes.
not only that people don't want that, but they just, we were not raised like that. So that's,
No, but that's one part of the problem. But the other part of the problem is that a lot of white women are not prepared to look at their own
yeah,
racism,
yeah.
because
They think they're well meaning, so,
yes, I'm a liberal lefty, and and I
yeah,
like everybody, and so on and so on. And no, yeah, you know,
yeah.
yeah,
But not everybody who is watching, maybe. So
no, no,
it's always good
yeah,
to say stuff like this, I think.
yes, but it's sometimes painful, and it's not always easy to say
No,
those things,
yeah,
because there are always people who don't get it and get offended, and
yeah.
but well, but
I
hands to
I
every
know you to be, I know you to be a bridge builder. That's, part of
yes,
your personality, your character,
yes.
everything, the way, the things you do. Um, it could have been easy to go into just one group, or, why do you why is it important to you to build bridges and to reach out to other
Because
people?
yes, because I think it's the only way that we can battle can win this battle on racism.
Yeah,
If we must know each other. We must listen to each other, really listen to each other, and I think that's very very important. And I'm a black woman, of course. I was raised by Suriname parents who were not very much in black awareness things, and they didn't like the real Suriname culture very much. So I have learned to develop this myself. But
they
I
had a
was
colonial. Can you say that they had a colonial mindset?
yes, they had a colonial mindset. Yes.
Yeah,
And because I was 9 years when we came here, I was raised here, educated here, went to school here, had my professional education here. I
yeah,
know everything also about the white norms,
yeah.
and everything, how you should work, and so on.
Yes,
So
you are
that's
very Dutch. I
yeah,
can tell
I'm
people
very
that.
Dutch in
Yeah,
that way, and I've developed my own black awareness through
yeah.
all the years. In very different manners and tools.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And why did you make the cards?
Well, the cards is a funny story. Um, I started one day. I had a long time I didn't paint because I'm painting for a long time, and there's always times from months, some maybe a year that I don't touch any paintbrush. And then I was inspired by someone who painted a queen with flowers in her hair.
Yeah,
And I said, oh, I must do some painting and
yeah,
again. So I started, and then I was so much. That was the first Black Queen. I was
yeah,
very much inspired by that, and I gave myself the challenge to paint each day a Black Queen for 30 days, a month. And after that was done, I was in a meditation with a teacher, and spontaneous came up. Oh, I must make cards from these. from
Yeah.
this queen. Because, well, that was the intuition or the universe talking to me. I don't know how you want to
You
call it.
don't know for sure how it works, but it does work.
Does work, yes.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I thought, yes, of course I must make them because all those tarot cards and how do you call them all, oracle cards
Yeah.
are almost always with white women.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. And I thought, well, black women can never identify them as good when they are black
Yes.
queens of the black oracles as well. So that's the main reason that I made them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does it also work? I can imagine because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that because people from Africa were brought, all over the world, but they were
yeah,
being enslaved and cut off from their
yeah,
original culture. And despite everything, still a lot of these pieces stayed alive and were
hmm,
brought into these days. For example, in rhythms and music, they're the same rhythms as
yeah,
they use in Africa in rituals and
hmm,
stuff.
yes,
That's just one example. But if you don't know where you're from and you're not aware of that history, then you cut off your own personal, well, your soul basically.
yes,
And so
that's
I can
true.
imagine that by seeing these pictures, um, that people can, reclaim their soul and their
Yes,
roots and
yes,
their,
yes, their roots and their soul,
yeah,
and it's touching because especially black women are very touched by all those queens. I
yeah,
get that back as feedback. Oh, I'm so much touched by each of them. They speak
yeah,
to my heart or to my soul,
exactly. Yeah, I think they
and
open up parts of your heart and your soul, and it can work really deep if you allow it to
yes, I
happen.
think so too. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I also think it is good for it also works for white women.
yes, yes, yeah. Because my feeling about this is that when there is something in a structural way very wrong in society that
Yeah,
hurts everybody, including
yeah,
the ones that are supposedly, supreme
yeah,
or white supremacy, because that
yes,
gives a lot of fear because you can lose a lot or you are afraid
yes.
of revenge, and it's often it's not conscious,
Conscious. Yeah,
but it's still lingering somewhere in a profound
yes,
way. And if you are cut off from your soul, I am too. So it
yes.
works the
Both
whole,
ways. Yeah.
we're all connected, we're all one.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that there are no differences. There are
No.
differences and they are very important and we should honor
Yes.
them.
Yes.
But when I heal, you heal, and other way around. So
Yes.
these are
That's
powerful for
true.
everybody.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
I hope so. Yes.
Yeah.
And to help white coaches and
Yeah.
trainers, I've made an how do you call it, handleiding, um,
Manual.
a manual how you can use them in training and
Yes.
coaching.
Can you talk a little bit about how you use them?
Well, I use them for in my group.
Mm-hmm.
I have every week and I draw a card, and I want people to first get into the card themselves, look at it, feel at it, think about it, and let it sink all in for some hours or a whole day. And afterwards, because there's a little booklet about
Yeah.
each,
Yeah.
about each queen. But I think it's very much more important to reflect on it.
Yeah. To
And
to
when you
first make it your own or
make
to
it your
watch
own,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
let it sink in. And when you, for instance, when you're a white coach and you have a black coachee, when you let her take, or you draw one, or so, that doesn't matter how you do it, and you let her reflect on that, she gets deeper, what you just said.
Yes. Yeah.
into her soul, and she can
Yes.
heal just by
Yeah.
watching and talking about it. And it's also important for your relationship as a white coach or trainer to your black coachee or trainee, because then you show that you recognize her.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You allow a safe space to open up.
Yes, she
Yeah, it
knows.
does work
Then
like that.
she
Yes.
understands that you are open to this. Otherwise, you don't would have those cards.
No.
you
Yeah.
when
How
you.
about we do a small reading?
Yes, that's okay. Yeah.
I have the cards. As I said, I use them myself every month. I
Yes.
draw a. I look at the the phases of the moon, and where the moon is, and the stars and
Yeah.
everything, like astrology. And I draw a tarot card, and also one of these. And it's more
Okay.
like they are talking to my soul, basically.
Okay.
So they don't tell me like, oh, this is going to happen this month,
No, no,
or
no.
but they um, show me different aspects of my soul. And
Okay.
these may be big words, but it is how it works. So thank you for making them.
You're
So
welcome.
I'm going to draw one card, and I suggest that we just talk about it a little bit, and then I get
Yes.
the text.
Yes.
And so, so oh, this one. It's Yaha.
Yeah.
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 These they're very expressionist. Your drawings and your I like them. I really do. Um, I shouldn't. I have to get them somewhere else. What I see is this kind of blue is my favorite, so I
Yes.
like that. She has very large eyes.
Yes.
She's about seeing, and I think what I see is her mouth is in the shadows, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
she has very strong opinions, and she sees what she sees, and she really sees through things. Um, and then it's somewhere and one side of her face is in the light, and one side is in the dark. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like this struggle that many of us have about, you want to speak out and you don't know how, or you
Yeah.
don't dare because you're afraid of, your parents or whatever people are saying. Um, but once this mouth is open, strong words come out of it,
Yes.
and she'll tell it like it is, something like that. But
Yes.
but it could also be like restrained, like, I'm not talking to you because talk to the yeah.
Talk to the hands.
Yeah, she has this expression on her face like
Yes.
yeah. So it's all this whole range of talking, not talking, when, why, how.
Yes.
But she has very strong opinions, very
Yeah.
strong.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think of her?
Um, I think she's very strong. She has a
Yeah.
very strong soul and mind.
Hmm.
Um, and when she stays in the dark, it's her own choice. It's not
Yeah.
because someone pushes her there. It's that what we just said, talk to the
Yes.
hands.
Yeah. If you perceive her the wrong way or ask the wrong question, she doesn't blow up or she doesn't get angry. She just like,
No,
okay, goodbye. She doesn't even
yes,
say goodbye. She just lingers
she,
off, something
yes,
like
she
that.
lingers
Yeah.
off. Yes, yes, yes,
Like,
yes. And she's a real queen because I think her crown is
yeah.
very luxurious and nice, and she
Yeah.
has this blue. Blue is the color of kings and queens.
Yeah. Royal blue. Yeah.
Royal blue, yes, yes.
Yeah. And also there is this a little bit of some peacock energy in it.
Okay, in
They
the
are not,
card.
but
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're to me it feels like feathers or something.
Yes. 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 I
And
understand.
so it could be peacock.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not, but it's in
It could
there.
be. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
like this. She has makeup on, and here you see.
Yes.
I don't think you can see it in the. Maybe you can.
Yes. I
Under her
see it.
eyes, these little
Yeah.
dots.
Yeah.
It's like the very like how do you call them in Morocco? These women, they have these blue uh,
Oh yes.
dots. I don't know how they're
No, I don't
called.
know how you call them. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
she is in
against
that
evil, huh?
to ward of evil. Yes, yeah,
Yes.
and she is very she is good for
Yes.
because she can navigate through the dark also.
No.
Um, so it's very powerful.
Yes, she's very powerful.
Yeah.
I think we should leave it by that. I'm not going to read what is in this
No,
because
no, there's no
this is
need
the
for
Dutch
that.
one, and
So
it's
so
good.
when I just wanted to say when you really pay close attention, I didn't I just got one card. I didn't prepare
Yes.
anything.
No.
Um, um, but when you look closely, there's so much information coming
Yes.
to you from these
Yeah.
cards. They're very powerful, and I'll put a link to where people can order them.
Yes.
Um,
That's good.
under the or above, or it
Yes.
depends on the
Yes.
near to this
Yes. And
somewhere around this video you will
yes.
find the cards.
And yes.
Yeah,
And please say also to in the comments that people can always contact me if they want to know more, if they have
exactly.
questions about the
Yes.
cards, but also about
Yeah,
diversity and
yeah, because you also
inclusion.
give workshops, right?
I give workshops. Yes,
Yes, so you
I'm
could
just
go
now.
to an organization with these cards and work with
Yeah,
that. It can be very
yeah,
interesting for organizations, I think.
yes,
So I
yes. I'm
wish.
just on making an online training,
Yeah,
especially for white women and
yeah,
men, mostly women, I think, what they can do in the anti-racism
yeah. Well,
struggle. Yeah.
that's very much needed, I think.
Yes, that's very much needed in this
Yes,
time
but they could
because
start with buying your cards, and I
yes,
think that's
yes,
a big. And then just reflect on them and
yes,
contemplate and
yeah, yeah,
go. Don't you know? Don't go out there for just go inside yourself. All the
yes,
information is basically there, and
yes,
if some unpleasant feeling comes up, just don't push it away. Don't try to immediately change it. Just
work
explore it
with it.
and just
Yes,
let it be for a while.
yes, yes,
And then
yes,
sometimes it's
and
just gone after that.
yeah,
Just a refusal to look it in the eyes is very
yes,
often
yeah,
more powerful than
yeah,
when you just be with it, then it just goes
yes.
away often.
It's much better. And there's also the booklet is also in English.
Yes, yes.
To,
It's
because
also very, yes, it's both in
yes,
English and in Dutch, yes.
yes, in
Yeah.
English and in Dutch.
So
Yes.
is there anything you would like to add? Because I think
No,
we're
I
nearing
think
the
we
end.
had it all for this.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
me too.
And
Yes.
so these
Thank you
cards,
for
I'll
having
show a
me.
bit more. You see
Yes.
all these colors. I really
Yes.
like the use of color. You have these, yeah, I don't know. They're
Yes.
really nice.
I'm very good with colors, I know.
Yeah, and all, but also in black and white, and they're not
Yes.
necessarily pretty cards.
No.
It's not about being, but they're really powerful and beautiful, and you know, like real female power, something like
Yes.
that. It's not
Yes.
about being pretty and a little Barbie doll, or not at
No, no,
all.
no, 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 not at all. No.
But there, I'll show some. They're really, really, I really like them. So
Okay.
thank you for making them, and
Yes.
I think this
Thank you
conversation.
for having me here in this conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye bye.